everyone. I am so excited today to welcome Miranda, raw beauty. She is on fruit-based vegan, and she does such a beautiful job on Instagram. And I think Instagram is now connected as well, so we are live on YouTube and Instagram. So welcome, Miranda. Thank you so much for being on my YouTube channel.
Thank you. I'm excited. We're gonna have a good talk live.
Yeah, so this is the first time Miranda is on my channel, but we have been connecting with different channel, mainly from Sky's Raw Party. And so I'm really excited to get to know Miranda more through this channel. So yeah, Miranda was, would you like to share why you started this raw and fruit-based diet or journey?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a few years ago, about almost 6 years ago, it was like pre-COVID. Everything was going crazy. So I was just feeling like really overworked, really tired. My digestion was awful. I was like always on caffeine, and it was just like I didn't feel very connected to my body. I just felt kind of brain fog every day. I was just like, there has to be more to life than feeling like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing my own research and inspired by other people on YouTube, Instagram, reading books, and just learning about, everything that goes on in the body and what we thrive on eating, which is a lot of carbohydrates for me, like a lot of fruit. So first off, I had to get a big blender because I started having really big smoothies in the morning, not like massive, because you have to get used to it. So I started having smoothie every morning instead of coffee, instead of all these other things that I used to consume. And over time, my body had to get used to it, but I had so much energy. This is the first thing I wanted to talk about. Just having so much energy, I didn't even know that I was capable of having just naturally from food and lifestyle too. I actually, at the same time of going fruit based, I started going to the gym. I started being more active. I feel like those kind of coexist. So once I started taking care of my body, taking care of my mind, followed through, and yeah, everything is just connecting now. And like, I used to have IBS, and that was awful. I would just dread waking up sometimes, even just feeling very blah. So I wanted to feel vibrant and radiant and energized and just full of life. And yeah, and over time it just feels so good and just feels so like connected to nature and connected to what I'm thriving. Like, that is the best word I can think of. Is just, we were made to thrive. We were made to be so blah.
Yeah, you have definitely succeeded what you wanted to achieve for sure, because you're nothing but vibrant, energetic being all the time, it seems like. And it's not so much of a physical issue that you are going through, but it's more of emotional and like energy level, right, that changed. So do you think like growing up when you were like in teenager, did you have a lot of energy?
I mean, yeah, I feel like growing up, I feel like kids always have a lot of energy. I actually went vegetarian when I was 14.
Wow.
So I already noticed a lot of good things happening. But over time, like even me being a vegetarian, it wasn't great. I wasn't eating the best as teenagers tend to do, explore eating Pop-Tarts and chips and a lot of kind of processed junk, really, even if it was vegan or vegetarian, it wasn't very optimal. And yeah, but I noticed even going vegan, I was not feeling so good. I had a lot of high salt foods too. I fell for like the vegan keto thing, and I had like some of the lowest energy I ever had while I was eating that way, like only salads and like not much at all, really. And I was just trying to get more energy, just feel more energized. So yeah, I definitely noticed. I honestly feel like right now in my life, I have so much energy. It seems as though I'm still like a teen, like in not like really, but you know what I mean? How like teenagers are hyper and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I'm not immature, but I just feel very energized and I feel like I can do a lot of things that I don't know. Okay, around my where I live, there is, some people I know that are my age and have health issues and don't exercise and don't eat well. And I can't relate to that, because I feel very youthful, like eating lots of fresh fruit and veggies.
How old are you now?
26, going on 27.
Okay, fantastic. So you had some time in your life that you felt very energetic, but then at 14 you went vegan, and even with this vegan diet you were feeling kind of sluggish. But I, I don't know, I only know you maybe on a superficial level, but you're someone who has so much energy, and at the same time I feel you're grounding. You're mature, for you're 26, but I feel you're a mature person. And I feel you're a confident person as well. And I think when you said that you became vegan at 14 years old, I felt that may be part of it. Because I mean, going vegan at 14 years old, that's a very tough time to go. And I fully respect that. I and thank you for being vegan. I am also an ethical vegan, and that's a very tough time to go. So would you like to share how it was when you turned vegan? Because you were in school, right? Still.
Yeah. Well, I did go, it was vegetarian, so I still
Okay.
did eat like cheese and stuff because I wasn't fully aware
Mm.
of that impact at the time. But shortly after that, around 17, I did go vegan. So about 2.5 years after. So yeah, at the time, I just started to learn about like, oh, that the slaughterhouses and all these things. And yeah, it was tough to be in a household with my dad being a hunter, and
Wow.
everybody else, yeah, and everyone else like eating all these different things around me. At the time, my family wasn't as supportive for sure.
Mm.
But over time, like my brother actually went vegan too at the same time.
Wow.
About a little bit after I went vegetarian, he went vegan. So my mom and my dad and everybody, honestly, in my family started to, I don't know, be more aware. And I feel like it was just meant to be at the time that I went vegetarian and then slowly went vegan when I moved out because it was easier to do it in my own household. I lived with my best friend at the time and we were both vegan. So we had a whole vegan house.
Wow. You were lucky.
Yeah, we dreamed about it, when we were kids. So we were like, oh, we're gonna do it. We're gonna move out together, have a whole vegan household, and yeah, and it was good.
That's
Mhm.
amazing. So you converted your brother into vegan.
I I mean, he had his own reasons, but we connected over that for sure. We were like just talking and investing our time into learning more and just kind of, yeah, learning, just reading and researching. And the reason I went vegetarian was simply because I went up to a PETA tent. You know what PETA
Yeah.
is?
Mhm, yeah.
I went up to a PETA tent at a concert and I'm like, what is this? Oh, they're doing something weird, like giving out brochures. And I'm like, wow, I never thought about where my food came from. I never knew that cows
Mm.
didn't just create milk. Like they had to be pregnant. Like all these things just opened up. And I was like learning so much. I'm just like, what?
Oh.
But yeah, it was kind of tough at times where I didn't have my own money to buy my own food and I had to kind of make do with peanut butter and jelly and spaghetti. But when you have a dream and when you have a desire to do something bigger than yourself, think about the animals for one, then you make it happen. I packed my
Mm.
lunch almost every single day and brought like salad and peanut butter and jelly and black bean burritos. Like it wasn't raw vegan, but it was vegan at the time and it was good because I had my best friend and that was something we kind of did that together. So I wasn't fully alone for sure. And then my brother too. So yeah, I feel blessed for that. And now like my family, they always have vegan stuff for me. They
Wow.
always have fruit. They think of me, and a lot of my aunts, like they drink vegan milk instead. And like it's just great because
Wow.
they're seeing like little things in their life improve. My aunt, she had high cholesterol and she started drinking rice milk or pea milk, and her cholesterol went down and she started eating more vegetarian meals. And it's just, I don't know. And that's when I really started to want to post on Instagram, because I feel like, oh, if I could inspire my inner circle,
Yeah.
inspire other people I don't even know.
That's so inspiring, and it's actually a rare case because Gary Yourofsky, he's now back. I'm so excited he's back after over 10 years.
Wow.
I am like hardcore listening to him, and anyway, he is a huge vegan activist, and he said that he has converted many people. I think 10% of the population, like 8 to 10% of population in Israel turned vegan thanks to him. But yeah, his family member is not vegan.
That is so awesome. I love that.
Yeah, he's amazing. But yeah, so that for you, it's actually it's a rare case. We usually have, as us vegan, have a hard time sort of not convincing but inspiring inner circle. So for you, I mean, you just probably radiate it and not preach but kind of
Yes.
walk the
Yeah.
talk.
Oh yeah. Like I think Sky and I talked about this in one of our talks. Like we are the representatives of how we live, of how we fuel ourselves. And even my family or even complete strangers ask me like, how do you have so much energy? Like, how are you this? How are you that? Like, are you like blah, 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 this age? I'm like, no, I'm actually 26. And they think I'm like 20 or something. It's like, I really think that when you show up for yourself, when you start to love yourself, when you start to love the animals, just embrace the planet by all the actions that you take, I feel like I don't know, it has less of a burden on your central nervous system too. So you're more like relaxed. I feel like having a somewhat stress-free life can also help with anti-aging and everything like that. But either way, I think that when I started to do all this, like I wanted to make it known to people, not to like shove it in their face, but just to simply stand my ground and be firm in what I believe. And I'm not going to be like swayed by anybody waving bacon in my face or doing any of this, which happened many times. Like, even in my family, like my brother, before he went vegan, would like wave bacon in my face and like slap my face with pizza and like all that. Yeah. So, you have to get through it if it's what you want to do. And that's what you're going to do.
Interesting. Were you always do you consider yourself as a confident person even when you were younger?
Oh, no, I was not. I used to never have confidence. I literally, I didn't even have a self-esteem. I was very sensitive. I didn't have any faith in myself. I was like night and day now.
Wow.
I am serious. Yeah. So I never had, even to post on Instagram and talk into a camera, I was nervous. But honestly, this all changed when I started going fruit-based and when I started expressing myself, when I started to truly love myself on a cellular level. Then I started to really love myself. Like, oh, I can make mistakes and I forgive myself. I can be different and still be proud of myself. Like, there are so many things that just kind of aligned in my life at this one time that I started going fruit-based and being healthier. But no, I never had confidence, especially when I was younger. I was a small girl, a small kid, so kind of frail, and just I didn't have a lot of confidence. But now, I don't know, I have a lot, and it's taken me a long time to develop that. And I see people that are lacking in confidence, and you can tell, like, sometimes I never even used to be able to look people in the eye. Like, that's how, like, I couldn't even do that. And now I always do that, and I always introduce myself, and it's like, Oh my gosh, like, why was I so scared? Everything I was doing was I was just full of fear. And when I started to let go and I actually like invested in myself and started to love myself, then I'm like, what am I afraid of? What am I ashamed of? Nothing. And there you go. And then it all started.
Wow. Amazing. I have quite a few other questions, but you have Rocky has joined, and thanks for asking your question. What are the main? Do you see the question or no?
Yeah, were the main things you fixed with high raw IBS and cysts? Was there other things? I never had any cysts like internally. I used to have hormonal acne, but when I went vegan, like that was basically gone. And even going fruit based, my skin got better, right? Oh, thank you. But were the main things you fixed high raw IBS? Yeah, so I used to have really bad constipation, TMI. I used to have very bad bloating. Oh my gosh, my cramps, my periods were awful. They were so bad. So I feel like now, I mean, I know now that my period is great. I don't really have any bloating. I never am constipated. Seamless digestion most of the time. I don't know, just being hydrated, eating a lot of fruit that's very high in water, I feel like helps with that. And not starving your gut microbiome. This is what I was trying to do. I was trying to do intermittent fasting to help with IBS. I saw a bunch of things that, oh, this helped with that and this helped with that. But if your diet is still not so good, and then you starve your gut microbiome of good bacteria, it's going to have the same problems, if not worse. So I just started eating a lot of fruit, a lot of greens in my smoothies too, just a lot of fiber foods. You got to kind of ease your way into high fiber foods because you can get pretty bloated at first if you're not used to that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any IBS symptoms at all. Like, I'm so grateful for that because I used to dream of saying that. I used to dream of that. Like, oh, one day I'll wake up with a flat belly, no bloating, no stomach aches. I used to have stomach aches a lot. Even eating vegan, I would just be like, what is going on? I'm vegan. I should be the epitome of health. But when you're still not loving yourself emotionally, it can transfer into the gut, you know, and not eating so well. As a vegan, I barely even ate vegetables at all. I ate some fruit, but yeah, it all got turned around. But I didn't have any cysts.
Yeah,
Like,
Rocky said that it's maybe for me. I said, well, I had ovarian cysts, and I also had cysts in my gum, and that went away on raw vegan diet, on fruit-based raw vegan diet. Yeah, so maybe Rocky has watched my previous video.
oh, I see now. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's
Ro-
great.
And Rocky said that she looks confident, and yeah, she does. I know you both are high raw, but non-fat foods. Do you do well with that? You continue to eat non-raw non-raw foods. I am fully raw vegan now, pretty much this year, because my body started to reject, and I started to see some negative effect. Um, I I wouldn't say I am fully raw for the rest of my life. I'm flexible about that. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm not fully raw, but there are some days where I am like basically all fruit, veggies, and stuff. And if I do have like a cooked dinner, it's very simple. I don't go crazy. I don't eat any oil. I don't eat any gluten. I really, if I would do anything, I do like boiled potatoes. Sometimes I do roasted veggies, like rice here and there and sushi, like boiled potatoes. I like very simple when it comes to that. I do like salads and stuff at night too. And I do notice like sometimes I might have like a little bit of less energy, but I've been eating sweet potatoes and beets recently and I feel so good. And they're not very cooked. Like I basically do half cooked with the beets, but I like fully cook the sweet potatoes. I'm like, this is so good. And I didn't, oh my gosh, I really like beets. And I want to try like they have those beet noodles that I never had, but they look
oh,
pretty good. It's really, really good for working out too. The
Ah.
beets good for nitric oxide production. But yeah,
Have you tried adding beets in your smoothies?
I have done that. Actually, I have this freeze-dried beet powder I use for that, and it's really good. I do I do hibiscus, berry, and beets. That's one of my that's a recipe in my Smoothie Boss book. I think you have from the flame.
Yeah. I love adding. That's my go-to smoothies because the color is so vibrant,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's fantastic, especially for my husband because when it's green or grayish color, because I like adding a lot of greens and greens and I don't know. Some different some mix of greens and fruits, it becomes kind of strange color, and my
Yeah.
husband is a bit scared.
Yeah.
But if I have beets in there, like he gets fooled and it's like, oh, this is so good. Like even if I add celery, he hates.
Oh no, yeah. See, I'm a little sensitive to celery. Like I can have like half cooked celery, but fully raw celery kind of I don't know. I think we talked about this before. Like certain foods made you like itchy and stuff. I think you talked about
Mm.
that's kind of one thing is the soy milk and then like celery, but that's it. Like I don't
Oh,
have any
interesting.
I don't know why. I mean, I've literally been at like since I was a kid, but like I said, I reversed all the allergies, like the seasonal allergies. It was
Mm-hmm.
all the different allergies. I used to be allergic to like cherries, and I couldn't even eat apples or pears or peaches. Like I couldn't even eat mangoes. I was so sensitive, but since being fruit based, that's gone. Seasonal allergies gone. It's crazy how beautiful and amazing that plant foods are that they can reverse things that we just thought we were destined to have.
Yeah, I definitely had seasonal allergy, and some of the food allergy went away. Not completely, but it's amazing that I thought that I would live with it for the rest of my life, but it cleaned up. But I would like to mention for me, cooked food, it's amazing. Like I could do it maybe for once or twice. Then if I continue 3 times, and it depends on what kind of food I eat. I would not eat out in a vegan restaurant anymore because they have oils and lots of salt and highly processed food. So I would definitely feel bad after eating cooked vegan foods in a restaurant. But if I eat like maybe grilled sweet potato, which is a huge thing here in Japan, uh, I might feel okay. But if I do it maybe twice a day or 2 days in a row, my mood changes. Like I'm super nice if I stay on fully raw vegan diet. And my husband, yeah, he's the first person to notice. Like
Like, have you been eating sweet potatoes?
yeah, any cooked food. Like if I were to do something simple, steamed food, I notice first thing for my mood, and I don't. Yeah, so that's one of the thing I notice, and I try to stay away. And Rocky had another question on either of you had any deficiency on the health lifestyle. You have supplements such as B12, iron. Yeah, so for me, B12 seems to be, I have been vegan, plant-based since, so I have been high raw vegan over 20 years. And for some reason, B12 has been good. I have been checking blood. I've been doing a blood test and has been good. But iron deficiency, I have been going through endometriosis for the last 8 years. So losing a lot of blood on cycles, I had to take some iron. That has calmed down since last year. So I haven't had any issues. But Miranda, do you want to share?
How about vitamin D? Do you have a problem with that at all? Or
No, I had
me
no issues. Yeah.
neither. I've never had a vitamin deficiency. I would always get my blood test checked. Even when I first started showing like more allergies to certain foods, I actually got a whole entire panel done when I was young. And ever since then, I've been doing it once a year. And I'm due for that now, actually. Yeah, in July, I do my blood panel. So I'm going to have to do that. And I'll share those results. But no, I've never had anemia. I've never had a deficiency in iron. But I used to have really heavy periods, but ever since going fruit-based, that's been good. I don't know what K2 is. Is that a vitamin? I don't know. I mean,
I know that you can like natto or what is it? What was that? The other fermented food from Indonesia? That's tempeh. So tempeh and natto that provides vitamin K's.
yeah, I haven't really heard that, but I haven't had any issues with that, thankfully. Never had an issue with vitamin D or vitamin B12. I would supplement actually all my vegan life. I supplemented with B12, and I actually stopped supplementing about 6 months ago. And
Oh,
I'm due for a blood panel now, so we'll see how my levels are. But I haven't noticed anything
okay.
at all. So, I mean, the way that I get it is actually just eating nori and eating different sorts of greens and mushrooms. And sometimes I use nutritional yeast. So, I mean, if that's a supplement, but I don't really see it. I see it more as a seasoning, but I guess technically it could be a supplement.
So in a way, you have been supplementing because yeah, nutritional yeast usually it's in they do add B12.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have that a lot because I notice if I do eat nutritional yeast a lot, I get really bloated. So I only have like a sprinkle of it. So I don't know if that really qualifies as having enough
Mm.
of B12, you know. I kind of just sprinkle it on things that, you know, I don't take the serving size, which is 2 tablespoons where I live. So yeah, I get like a fraction of that. So I don't know, but no, thankfully haven't had any deficiencies and I don't plan to.
Yeah, I mean your diet, the fruit-based vegan diet, is definitely seems to be working really well for you. So that's great, and it really depends on the person, right? Like some certain people, not a single raw vegan eat in the same way, or not single high raw vegan eat in the same way. I had a raw vegan boyfriend before my husband, and we ate so differently, and we have different food sensitivity, and we have to honor that, and we have each person has to find their own journey. And Rocky said you both have incredible glowy skin. Do you have routine of keeping things simple, or do you attribute great skin to mostly the diet? Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Miranda, do you want to share?
All right. Well, as you know, your diet, I feel like, is the number one skincare because what you're putting in is coming out in, I guess, reality. So when you treat your organs right with the food, like the elimination and filtration organs, okay, your liver, your kidneys, your skin, when you treat those well with what you eat and drink, it's going to reflect that, right?
Mhm.
So that's the first thing. So if you notice, you're getting better skin at first, that's good. That's good because you're cleaning up your diet. But when it comes to the exterior, I do love skincare. I am very simple though. I definitely simplified my routine. So I do like facial steaming. I really enjoy that. And then I like to use rose water or rice water or a green tea mist even, which
Rice
is really
water,
great.
do you make rice water yourself or?
Yeah, I do. I actually do that. Yeah, you
Oh,
can actually,
wow.
I'm sure you might know this for your hair. You can use rice water too, which is really, it's good for your follicles and stuff, adding moisture back into the scalp. So I love hair
So
care too.
rice water is in like when you wash your rice.
Yeah, or you can like sometimes, yeah, I use that for like I have organic sushi rice that I make, and then I just use that water, keep it in the fridge, and use it, and it's very refreshing. And whatever I don't use in like a week and a half or 2 weeks, I just use it on my hair for like a rinse. Um, I love like, oh, hold on, I'm getting a call. um, I love jojoba oil. I use that on my skin every day. Very simple moisturizer, very simple cleanser. nothing crazy, because I used to really strip my skin. I used to have acne and stuff, not like really, really bad, but definitely a lot around my chin, even on my neck and chest. I had a lot of zits and stuff. And since going fruit-based and gluten-free, I've noticed gluten-free was probably the biggest thing for me when it came to the chest acne and the shoulder and back acne. I had none after 3 months of being gluten-free. So I feel like I can definitely attribute that to that. But yeah, I do very simple skincare. How about you, Kiko?
I think I was overconfident on this diet. So I started raw vegan diet over 20 years ago, and I honestly felt like I went through like mini plastic surgery. My skin felt so soft, so everyone was commenting on me like, Kiko, my God, you're radiating, and I lost like 15 pounds in 1 week, and without knowing, I wasn't trying to lose my weight. It was just naturally, it just went away. And the parts that I didn't want to, the butt area, and it felt so good. And I think I was feeling overconfident that I don't like. I have a very sensitive skin, so I can't put foundation, and I don't like putting things on my skin. So with this diet, I was feeling overconfident that I didn't put anything. I didn't protect any with any kind of skin. Even if I were to go to the beach, I never protected my skin. So I started getting some spots, but I do want to say, like, when I'm on 100% raw vegan, my skin is very, very soft, and it radiates. And as soon as I start eating cooked food, I get some cracks. So my skin tends to be dry. So for me, like, fully raw vegan diet works for me. And it depends. Like, each person has a different reaction. My husband is high raw vegan, and he does just fine cooked food. When he eats out, he doesn't have that much, you know, negative effect. So yeah, I hope
Yeah,
that
well,
answered, Rocky's question.
oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like most of my even early 20s, I didn't have as good of skin as I have now,
Yeah.
which is, I feel like, because of the diet. And I do use SPF, and I never used to either, but I do now. And, like, I have pretty fair skin and everything else, but there's so much like controversy when it comes to SPF and sunscreen and, you know, but I actually use Korean skincare, Korean sunscreen, and I love it so much. It's like so amazing. I've been using it for like 5 years. I love it. The beauty of Joseon. So I have.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Many Japanese people use Korean products as well. They're very, hardcore on beauty products.
Yeah. Yeah. And Rocky is right. He said, I think it's the hydration.
Mm.
And I mean, you saying that with the cooked food can make you feel dry, that
Mm.
does make sense. If you're primarily raw vegan and you're always getting in that hydration and you're then eating something cooked. So I wonder, like, if I went raw vegan for a month, like, how would I react to that? Would I notice that afterwards? I mean, I might have to do that because, why not? And
Were you ever 100% raw vegan? Fully?
was I ever? No,
Mhm.
I was never.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, no, I was never raw vegan. So, I mean, I would say like 70% of my diet is raw. Like, that's why I call myself a high raw vegan. But, I definitely need to explore being more raw vegan, and especially right now because it's summertime.
Mhm.
So, eating all the fruits and veggies locally that I can get. I guess, like, sometimes in the wintertime when it's really super cold, I guess that's why that's one of my excuses. I could say, like, I need warm food, like, when it's cold outside, for example. That's
Mhm.
one thing I can say, like, is comforting. But I can notice if I do too much of that, especially in the winter, if I do too much of that,
Mm.
then my skin will still get dry. But if I eat still primarily high raw vegan, and I do 99% of the time still, then yeah, in the wintertime, it doesn't necessarily affect my skin because I used to have really dry skin. I would have dry patches everywhere, and I would have like itchy red, not quite eczema, but maybe, I don't know. But now it's like never like that, and I'm just so grateful.
I think it's, yeah.
Your skin, if you went raw vegan, is so nice now. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I feel good. I should try it because I don't know. And I just need to explore recipes too. I think what we were talking about at the raw vegan party, like I need to explore more raw vegan recipes because I am just so like in my own routine of what I know, what I do, what makes me feel good. So I have to just branch out. Like I've done it before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, but if you're feeling great, that's fantastic. You know, you seem to have a nice routine, and you seem to have a great energy and great skin. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. But if you do try 100% raw, do let me know. I would love to integrate that as well. But you know, I wanted to go back to 14. So yeah, you became vegetarian. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. So you 14 years old, you decided to become vegetarian. That's still a huge thing. And then 17, that's still a teenager, becoming vegan. And you said that you were not confident at that time, right? But you still went.
Yeah, not quite. I guess it was mostly for the animals, like just me being vegan for the animals. I wasn't necessarily a healthy like vegan at that time. That's for sure. So yeah, I definitely still had lack of confidence and stuff. But yeah, after time of like doing things on my own, like making my own decisions, and I was in a relationship for a very long time. And after getting out that relationship, I feel like that also definitely impacted my confidence, like in a good way. Like after exiting that sort of toxic relationship, that's also when I started to be, more fruit-based too. So there was a lot of changes in my life at one time, right? And I was just like, kind of like hit with a brick wall, like, whoa, I can do it. I can do things and love myself simultaneously.
Now you're reaching out quite a few people through social media, and you're getting some weird comments, and it's kind of natural because you're reaching out to so many people, and that's great. That's congratulations to that, reaching out to so many people, not just for people who are interested in this high raw or fruit-based vegan diet, but you get some random strange comments and people attack. So like how do you feel when you are attacked?
I don't give it the time of day. When I started going and posting, I gained a lot of followers at once. I feel like because I had a few viral videos, really. And then after that point, I'm like, whoa, I have all these followers. Like, I feel very pressured to create, basically. And then there was a lot of criticism and this and this, and that still impacted my confidence at the time. But after doing it for a while, and yes, being more confident with myself and knowing why I'm here to do what I do, it doesn't impact me anymore because mainly I know that when people attack me or question me, it most of the time doesn't come from a place of malice. I feel like a lot of the time it can come from a place of just them being ignorant, not knowing what I do or what I promote, or assuming things, or honestly just projecting their own insecurities or shortcomings onto me. So I feel like I don't even, it doesn't even encroach my confidence. It's just kind of they're there and they exist and they're always going to exist, and it's okay because if I'm impacting one person or 1 million people, like as long as they're getting that message, they're gonna receive it as they wish, but I'm just gonna keep churning it out.
That's fantastic. I love your post on people commenting you, and you're kind of trying to bring you down, and you just use it again to well, you're more power to you, Miranda, for that. And that's fantastic that you have that confidence at your age, 26. I don't think I would have been comfortable to to share who's attacking me. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like it must be exposed, not because I want to belittle or make fun. It's not that. It's more so like to bring awareness to people who might think that same way, to people to just bring attention to that. I think it doesn't all have to be negative. It really doesn't. Like, I can receive something of a negative comment. If that's what their intention was, doesn't mean I receive it that way, right? Like, they can say, oh, you're this, you're that, you're this. They can have that intention of being negative, but I don't have to receive that negative energy. I can turn it into something beautiful. I can turn it into something educational. So that's kind of what I do with those comments and messages. And you know, every comment and every person or every username is a person behind it most of the time, if they're not bots. But and it's just, I'm trying to also bring humanity back into social media, because sometimes we get disconnected. Like, I am a person. I'm reading what you're saying. You know, it doesn't really hurt my feelings, but what if I was myself 5 years ago? I would cry myself to sleep because people are belittling and stuff. But you know, knowing what I know now, it would have been nice to know that when I was younger. Like, oh, people say certain things. It doesn't have to shape the way you think about yourself, right? You can make it something that you want that's going to be good for humanity.
Well, thank you for doing what you do. And Rocky had a question: what is if you do this social media?
Well, that was originally the goal, right? And like, when I first started, that wasn't my goal. I just wanted to get out this beautiful message. I just wanted to talk about fruit. I just wanted to talk about how you can save money being raw vegan or high raw vegan. As that was one thing I should have talked about too. I also save money living this way as compared to eating another way. And I used to spend a lot of money on going out to drink, going out this, going out that. Now I'm very simple, and sometimes I invest in certain things. But anyway, no, I don't do social media for a living. I wanted to at a time, but I feel like it just wasn't my calling. Really, I mean, I love to be on social media, but I don't see myself like being I don't see myself as like an influencer, if that makes sense. I don't want to like promote things. Like, I don't know. I guess I see myself as more of like a content creator rather than an influencer, because yes, I do technically influence people, but I don't want to be, I don't know. I don't want to be someone who someone has to look at and emulate exactly what I do. Because I've gotten messages before like, how do you do this? 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 And I understand the passion and curiosity, but I don't want it to make it seem like I'm a perfect person. Like, everything, as you know, can be different for someone else. And I know what works for me and how our body reacts to certain things. So yes, I want to influence and inspire, but I also don't want people to think that just because they don't do what I do, they're like not good. So
I think Rocky's question was, if are you relying on the
like for income? No, I'm not relying on it. But I do make some income. So I used to do coaching, which I should open that up soon, but I've been kind of taking a break from coaching. I do my recipe books and everything like that. I do make some money there as well. And I used to do some brand partnerships and content creation there. I actually have another stream of income. I do social media management for a local artist. So there's that. And I'm trying to get more into social media managing too, like managing other businesses' pages. So I could do that as well. But for me personally, I don't rely on like one thing for a living. I like to dip my toes in many other things, but I can't be in like, I can't be in like an office or anything. Like, I have to kind of have duality in my life and versatility. So no, I don't do it for a living. I don't know. I guess I do it for a living because I live and I live it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do it for money. I don't do that. I do it to elevate humanity. Does that sound corny?
Yeah. And Sorry, I wanted to respond to Rocky's question earlier, what I eat in a day. And I just wanted to focus on Miranda, because I feel like I shared a little, a lot already about myself. And I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. So if you can go to my Instagram, you can see like what I eat in a day. Yeah. And also he mentioned meat is so destructive to the planet. I feel people don't care and I kind of selfish just because they like the taste of things. Yeah, this is to me. This is not to be judgmental, but this subject of veganism. I feel like people are. I don't know. I feel it's a biggest mystery why people are not converting to vegan. I hope I don't mean it in a judgmental way, but it's a mystery for me. Like people say, oh, be kind to animal, be kind to everyone, and then like on your plate every day, every plate, there's suffer animal that's been suffered and killed.
Yeah.
It seems to be very simple to me, but
Well, same here. And I think for me personally, that it's kind of had a lot to do with how I grew up, like how I went vegetarian and stuff. I kind of figured that out when I was younger. So I guess it just kind of feels like common sense and it feels like something that comes naturally. And I know that all humans, we are inherently compassionate and empathetic beings, and we don't want to harm animals or others. But, there's a lot of disconnect, the cognitive dissonance when it comes to things. People see certain animals as pets and then say other animals as ones they consume. It's a very weird thing because pigs have a higher IQ than dogs do, right? So they have an IQ of a 4-year-old, basically. That's the equivalent. But yeah, I think it has a lot to do with, at least here in America, there's a lot of just tradition. And yeah, I'm sure it is basically everywhere, really. But just like tradition and, long-term dogma. There's so much we can get into with that.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Maybe we can do something on this vegan subject. But yeah, I really appreciate Rocky asking lots of great questions. And yeah, no, don't be sorry about that, because I love the interaction and great questions that you've been asking. And yeah, reach me out on Instagram or comment on YouTube, and then I'm very happy to share what I'm going through. Yeah. So, what else, Miranda? So you've shared, and before this interview live, you've shared that you have been on a relationship for the last 3 years, is it?
yeah.
And he's vegan.
Mm-hmm.
He's open to eating high
Oh, yeah.
based.
He's definitely open. I think he enjoys the simple luxuries in life, and food is one of them. And I think that, he's kind of like, oh, I don't want to eat as simple as you. I like this, I like that. And like, I don't want to change anybody, right? So I just want him to be him and do what makes him feel good. And, sometimes he eats or drinks things that doesn't make him feel so good. And I try to help him like reflect on that without trying to be like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. So it's like kind of like a guidance thing. And, we always teach each other stuff, but I just feel like when it comes to nutrition and stuff, he definitely looks to me for that, which, I feel good about, and we can teach each other stuff. But when it comes to nutrition, he's definitely asking me a lot, like, oh, could you make me a smoothie in the morning? Could you do this? And I'm happy to do that.
Oh,
I guess it's about like he has to want to do it. I don't want to like
right.
force him to do things. But yes, he's vegan, which is good.
That's fantastic. I love your attitude that you're letting him being, who he is, and you're just sharing when he reaches out to you, and you're not judgmental, but you're just caring about his health, right? Just kind of bringing it to attention, like, hey, maybe this is affecting you to feel a certain way. That's so beautiful. I mean, Miranda is such an angel. I really feel
Oh,
you're a gift to the world. truly.
Thank you, Kiko. I feel the same way about you.
Aw.
Your energy is very calming.
Thank you. I appreciate that, really. And yeah, so the confidence is something that, it's such an important thing, and especially here in Japan. I don't know. Have you been to Japan? Okay, so well, you already use Japanese sushi, rice, and Korean products. So you're in touch with this Asian culture. Korea and Japan has a lot of similarities, and we have a lot of social pressure, and especially for women, we have a lot of pressure. And for me, I have lived probably most of my life outside of Japan, and it doesn't affect the social pressure as much. And I want to bring out light to people, and also bring this confidence to people, because it's so important, feeling comfortable and confident who they are. It's such a power. I think it's more powerful than just diet itself. And then, but I think there is a huge correlation with diet and how you can be confident. Yeah. So can you share a little more about how you can be a little more confident?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of comes down to trusting myself, but also trusting that what I'm eating loves me back. I trust that what I'm eating is, not feeding disease rather than preventing disease, and just trying to bring it to really, I don't know, simple terms, not for just me, but for others. Oh, why are you eating this way? Or I have a lot of questions I get, not even on just social media. I just mean in my life, I've gotten so many questions, and I've just learned how to answer them over time of just getting them. Oh, like, how do you get your protein? There are certain questions that, I would feel nervous to ask or to answer and all that. And now, like, I don't feel nervous at all, because I just know, and I trust myself. I trust my body. I trust the plants, and I don't know. I guess that word trust is very important to me, because I never really had that connection or trust with like anything that I was doing, anything I was consuming, even the jobs I was doing. I was just feeling very disconnected and like floating in my life. I didn't really have a lot of like, I don't know, routine and structure in my life. So when I started finding that and creating that for myself, because I guess I expected like other people to do it for me at the time. Like, I had, I was in a previous relationship, and that really affected how I thought about myself and my life. And when that ended, I started eating better. I started doing this, I started doing that. And, I started just really also trying new things and knowing what I like, knowing what I don't like, just knowing myself more, so that I feel more, I don't know, I can feel more confident because I know myself more. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just know who I am. I know who I am, and I know what I want to do. And I never had that. I never had that knowing, or I never had goals. I never had passion. And when I started having goals, when I started wanting to eat better, when I started going to my local farmers market, supporting local small businesses, like creating a community, like all these things just kind of aligned. And I don't know, it's just so simple to me now. But at the time, we're growing and just trying to navigate our life in early 20s were such a crazy time. And now it's like really kind of calming down, and I'm just really confident, and it's just like, wow, it feels good. And I'm getting emotional, and I'm a very emotional person. Like, I might not show it a lot, but I am. And I think I used to not allow myself to feel emotions or to like feel, but now I feel like after eating this way too, I am very much more in tune with my emotions, and I'm able to share them. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it does have something to do with my diet and just the way that I see myself. I just feel like I'm more confident to express myself in all ways.
That's great. And I think that relation, the human relation, like, so you were in a toxic relationship before, and you were able to, leave that relationship. and then now the relationship with food. So people notice the relationship, the human relationship, if they love me back. Not only love goes from my side, but the relationship with food is something that most people don't even pay attention to. And that's something I noticed when I started eating raw vegan. It's like, wow, finally, food loves me back.
Yeah.
It's an amazing feeling, isn't it?
It really is. And I can just have the most simplest food and I'll just be elated. I would just be so happy. And people kind of are like, what why are you so happy because you found good peaches? I'm like, I am so happy because it's that simple. Like I'm just that connection and finding a good fruit. Like you don't know until you have it. Like you don't want a certain fruit that's unripe, or you have to be, I don't know. You have to be excited about what you eat, but you also have to just not eat whatever tastes good. You have to kind of, there's a balance between like the discipline, but there's also kind of like that trust that comes together, and it's just kind of melts into something that is natural to you. Like, oh, I'm not going to overeat because I know that what I'm going to eat is satisfying me, and if I'm hungry, I'll just eat more. It's really simple for me.
Fantastic. And, thank God that you're on this diet that gives you so much energy, because Miranda is definitely on fire. Not only she's super, super active on Instagram, she has published books, and she does coaching, right? And she, you do paintings. I can see your paintings in your back, and you dance, and, you're full of creativity and full of energy. And I think without that energy, it's so difficult to express your, creativity, right?
Oh
So,
my gosh. Yeah. It's like the last thing you'd want to do. I mean, I had a lot of creative energy when I was like in my senior year of high school. Then I started working a lot and I started drinking a lot of coffee, and I just started feeling like not that good, and I don't want to paint. And it's only been over the past 5 years, 6 years, maybe even 7, that I wanted to paint. I wanted to create. I wanted to do my hula hooping. I wanted to do all these things because I just felt this like energy inside to create. And I think that it has a lot to do with my diet. It's just, I just feel like when you're eating foods that are so vibrant and so bright and so beautiful and just so like, I don't know, just so good that you want to get it out. You want to get it out too, not in a bad way, but like you want to get it out because you want to expand your goodness. I don't know.
Yeah, and thanks for doing that, and thanks for keeping showing up all the time. And I love seeing you and on Instagram. I always see you so bright and beautiful, and sharing what you eat, and the beauty care as well. I really, you inspire me every time I see you. So I'm really, really thankful that you are who you are. So one more question for you. You've mentioned that you wanted to go back to, more on the coaching, right? So would you like to share, like, was it intentional that you stopped at a certain point? And
Well, yeah, I just started feeling kind of, I don't know, when it came to coaching, I was doing a lot and I was just, oh my gosh, I'm getting another call. Anyway, yeah, I was just kind of feeling overwhelmed, and I know that I love to do what I do. Okay. I love talking to people like you and Sky and like all the people and like clients. And I love that. And I love messaging my followers and I love creating content, but I'm a human being and like I do feel overwhelmed sometimes. Even though I have a lot of energy, I do rest a lot too. So I felt like I was just overdoing it. I just felt like kind of burnt out, if that makes sense in that way. And I wanted to focus more on creating free value for people of planet Earth rather than focusing my time on like a few individuals. Although I love doing that, I guess I kind of wanted to speak more generally and speak more, I don't know, just feel like I used to never do coaching, and I wanted to start doing it, and I love it, and I love it, and I love it. But I guess I just wanted to just churn out more content, and I wanted to do more writing of books and stuff. So I wanted to focus more on that. But I think when it comes to like the cool, here's the thing with me. I'm kind of seasonal when it comes to things. Like when it comes to spring and summer, I am like, oh, I want to be out and do stuff and do stuff. But when it's colder and like fall and winter, I can be inside talking, doing my writing, doing like the plans for people. And I guess like I'm very seasonal when it comes to certain things. So I have to trust my own phases, if that makes sense. I just have to trust it. And I think I'm going to come back very soon to coaching. So if any of you guys are open to that, but if, I just have to trust myself. I just have to. So yeah, I stopped, but I love it. I still love it, but
It's so beautiful. It's so important to be able to listen to your body, not just eating, but what you do. And you do variety of things. And I'm like that as well. I love, I'm sort of like ADHD personality. I love, I love many things. And so it's great that you're listening to yourself. So yeah, well, thank you so much, Miranda. Is there any? It's been over 1 hour. It went so quick. I wanted to learn more about you, but I guess you have to come back.
Well, we can do this again. It was really fun, and we can even think about more questions to ask each other. Kind of like Sky and I did a Q&A, so maybe we could do that. We ask our audience like and we answer questions live for them. I feel like that would be really fun. Not just like questions for each other, but from our audience.
True. Yeah, we both of us are open book, and we can be, we can answer whatever the question. So you can challenge us. So just send us questions through Miranda's Instagram and mine, and we can do another session. And 21st Century, thanks for joining us. Know thyself. Love this. Oh, fantastic. I truly enjoyed getting to know you and interview Miranda, and I hope it did the same for you live, and also watching people through replay. And again, Miranda, I love you. You're just an amazing being. You are a true gift to the world. So.
Oh, thank you. I was really excited for this, and we definitely need to do it again because we could go on forever.
Forever, yes.
I feel like we could.
For sure. So, well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And Miranda, we'll connect soon again.
All right. I'll see you guys. Thanks.